And I'm going to transfer this over to bulk because it has been ready to go for over a week probably. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So, as far as equipment goes, of course I got my phone stand, gotta have that, and also my jewelry holder, but he can go over here for now. Then, of course, gotta have a skull around. I mean, who doesn't have a skull around? Especially a pink one. So in this bag, I have my liquid cultures. I have quite a few, 4 different species. I have this one. Let's see what it is. You know what? I think I have to open it and see what it says on this syringe. This one is Rashishi. Very popular. Next one is turkey tail. This mushroom is really, really cool. It has all kinds of medical and medicinal benefits. One of the coolest things I think is it reinforces the cell walls, just all of the cells in your body. So whenever cancer patients are doing chemotherapy, from everything I've read, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I have read that people who consume turkey tail while doing chemo have way better results. Look that up yourself. I am not a doctor. Let's see what else we got here. Shiitake. My pronunciation of a lot of things is pretty bad. But I especially struggle with S's, and you will notice that if you keep up with my content. But the shiitake. Good stuff. And the last one is going to be lion's mane, and this one is really cool. And this one I'm the most excited about. I've grown a little bit of it before, but I just grew it to grow it. I didn't really know what I was doing. I got some bags from North Spore, the sterilized bags, and a thing of this culture a few months ago, and grew some lion's mane oyster mushrooms. And that's when I really started thinking about and considering starting a mushroom farm and taking a hobby and turning it into a business. So that is exactly what I've done over the past couple of months. I'm really proud of it. It was a lot of work, but I am a registered LLC. My company name is Hyphaenation. I just noticed someone tuned in. Oh, they're gone. Bye-bye. But my company name is Hyphaenation. I'm a registered company. I'm growing medicinal mushrooms for medicinal purposes. And I feel the need to mention that because people have asked me when I tell them I'm starting a mushroom farm, they're like, heck yeah, let me get some mushrooms. And it's like, it's not that kind of mushrooms. So most people, when you say that, they're thinking that you're growing something psychedelic. It's like, there are medicinal purposes to these mushrooms, but you're not going to trip. Maybe one day those will be legal, and if they ever do become legal, I will grow them. I've watched tons of videos of other people growing them, and they look fun and easy to grow. But, you know, they're illegal, so can't do it. So, yeah. So these are the different cultures for the different strains of mushrooms or species of mushrooms I'm going to be growing for Hyphaenation. And what I am going to be doing with these mushrooms, I'm partnering with a company called Triple G Hemp. One of my friends works for the owner of the company, and I've met the owner a couple of times. He's a really nice guy. He does a lot of CBD products, and they're pretty successful. So we can combine the different kinds of mushrooms I'm going to be growing with the CBD and other types of products. I'm going to expand but beyond just CBD, but that's how I'm going to get my foot in the door and, you know, get into the business and so forth and so on. So I'm going to be documenting that on this YouTube channel. I hope you join me. But let's continue. Got to put up the liquid cultures real quick. And I'll move on to the next thing that I just see. Whatever's in my field of vision, I'm going to decide. I'm going to show off. So that's my liquid culture. Thank you, North Spore. You guys are great. All of the equipment I've gotten from you before this haul. This is what I bought on Cyber Monday. So I got a really good deal on all of this stuff. And since I have such a bulk supply, I'm going to, I'm going to live stream me opening everything. And like I said, I'm going to be explaining what everything is and how I use it and everything else. So let's continue. This is just a old mushroom cake I had going. I put it in a vacuum sealed food saver bag and I sealed it. So it's not really doing anything, but maybe it will one day. Right here, this stuff is like liquid gold. I'm not even joking. So what's in here is liquid culture kit, like a liquid culture kit. And I bought a couple of these in the past, so I know they work really well. So the liquid is like sugar and vitamins and nutrients and stuff that the mycelium can eat and grow. So what this kit is for, so I say so a lot. I'm going to try to stop saying so as much as I do. But for this stream, I'm probably going to be saying it all the time. So you take the liquid culture, and you don't need much. I'm going to just put like maybe 10 cc's of this in this. And the rest of the syringe I'm going to use to inoculate some sterilized grain bags. So I'm going to, and this makes 30 of these, and 10 milliliters of one of these makes one of these. So it's like you keep getting more. You know, like these syringes usually cost $20. I think I paid $9 a piece because I got them on sale, and I bought 4 of them, and Cyber Monday stuff. So this makes 30 of these. So you can then, after this gets down to like, let's say 10 milliliters, you can take the 10 milliliters out of this jar, grab another one and inject it, and then you can reuse this jar. The jars you get from North Spore, they come pre-modified. And they have these silicone covers for whenever you're sterilizing new liquid culture jars. It's like all in one. These guys are great. Got a garbage can back here. So they're pre-modified, meaning they have a microspore filter and a self-healing injection port. That's where you inject the mycelium. And then while the mycelium is growing inside of this jar, it needs to breathe. So it has the micro spore filter so that it can have a clean gas air exchange and not contaminate your jar. It's really cool stuff. I really, really appreciate the way North Spore handles their business and their products. And like I said, I ordered this on Cyber Monday and it came in yesterday. So their shipping and everything is really, really fast. I have some stuff that's going to be coming in later that was a part of that original order there, like a still air box, but they've been selling so many of them that they let you know before you order it, hey, it's going to be a couple of weeks before we even ship any of this out because we're out. So that tells me, I hope that it's really good still air box. I don't know how you can make a bad one. If you know what a still air box is, you'll know why I said that. But it looks like it's pretty good, according to the sales, at least. But once again, this is great. And I love that they come with silicone covers, because these are freaking expensive. If you try to just buy silicone jar covers, they're like $5 a piece. Like, it's a lot. I get 12 1-quart mason jars for under $10. So I don't want to pay $5 for a single silicone lid cover. So it's really cool that you get them whenever you order jars from North Spore. Like, seriously, North Spore, they're good. They're good stuff. Let me put this back over here. And as you can see, I got 4 of these, one for each liquid culture syringe. So that'll be 3, 6, 9, 12, 120 syringes of mycelium. The mycelium is like really cool, guys. I don't know if you knew that, but it is. Mycelium is awesome. I love it. I love watching it grow. It's just so interesting, and it's so much faster than a sprout from a seedling. I really loved gardening, and I have loved gardening my whole life. I learned most of what I know about it from my grandma down in Alabama, and we would spend, hours out in the garden, her garden. I lived with her for a while before I moved to where I am now. But, she taught me a lot. She's been doing it her entire life. She is in her 80s, but she still runs around like she's in her 60s. Yeah, I know. I love you, Grandma. She'll never watch this, but love you, Grandma. Okay. So next thing I got is some gypsum. And what this is it's just calcium powder. It's minerals that they crush up, and it's calcium, and it's powder. And I will show you the powder, because why not, right? Just calcium powder. So I guess if you have indigestion, just knock back a spoonful of this stuff. But I'm using it for mushrooms, so get your own. Get your own calcium powder. This is mine. what's next? Here is a bag of soybean whole soy whole pellets. It's food for the mushrooms. Specifically, it's going to go in my substrates. And if you don't know what a substrate is, I will explain it more whenever I go to transfer this grain jar over to bulk. So don't worry, we're going to get there. I'm going to soak these pellets in water. I'm going to boil them, in fact, along with some hardwood pellets and some other nutrients and stuff like that. So. Unfortunately, I do have to say something negative about North Spore, which in the end will probably work out in my favor. I ordered one of these and 2 hardwood pellets, but they sent me 3 of these and no hardwood pellets. So I haven't gotten in touch with them yet. I think I'm going to wait for my still air box to come in. I'm going to see if that has the hardwood pellets in it, and if it doesn't, I'm going to contact North Spore. But for now, I don't have any hardwood pellets, but I got the added nutrients, additives for the substrates. Over here, this is vermiculite. This stuff is great. It's just minerals. It's minerals that absorb a ton of water. So you put it in your substrate so that, it retains water. It's good for that. And if you have dry vermiculite in your substrate and you overwater your mushrooms and your cakes and stuff like that, the vermiculite will absorb the extra water. So it's really, really useful for just moisture control. This is a must-have in mycology, trust me. More soy holes. North Spore's a soy hole for not sending me my hardwood pellets. Okay, what else do we have? Let's see. So, I loaded up this backpack with a ton of stuff whenever it came in so I could move it over to the farm. So let's bust it open and see what all we got in there. One of those bags feels heavier than the other. Okay. This Carhartt backpack is excellent. It can withstand there's probably 50 pounds in there right now of bulk items that I was able to carry just fine. Damaging. I've had this for a couple of years and it has proven itself worth the money. So, just in case you need a backpack, I highly recommend this Carhartt brand. In this top pocket, I put my my mycology toolkit. This is, of course, something that came in with North Spore. So let's go through it real quick and talk about what all we have. So this was not part of the mycology toolkit. This is another thing I ordered from North Spore, and I just put it in this case so I wouldn't lose it. But this is a forging knife. So it's supposed to be curved and everything to make it ideal for harvesting mushrooms. And it has this brush on the end so you could sweep it off and sweep it off, cut it off, and pop it in your mouth. There's nothing better than fresh mushrooms. Trust me. I'm gonna put that up. So what's in the rest of the kit? These are sterile these are sterile scalpel blades in these packs. This is just your standard pair of scissors with a long neck. This little scraping tool is more for working with agars. I'm not there yet. I plan to work with agars eventually, but I'm just not there yet. But you scrape a little bit of the mycelium out of the agar with this little scraper tool, and you put it in another agar, and you sterilize this and everything before you do any of that. Pair of tweezers. Tweezers are always nice. And these are different types of scalpels. And those scalpel heads, the sterilized ones I showed you, they go on the ends here. So they're just different designs, and they have measuring tape. They have measuring tape on them. I know you can't see it, but it's there. No, they have rulers on them. So that's pretty convenient as well. Let me put my knife back in here so I don't lose it. But I'm going to put this mycology kit to very good use in the future. You will see me using it all the time. And whenever I finally work my way up to agar, you'll see me using that scrape tool all the time. But for those of you who don't know, agar is kind of the next level of mushroom farming. That's the best way I know how to describe it. Let's see what else I got. I'm going to leave that out of the backpack because I'm going to take all of this stuff out and leave it out so I can use my backpack for backpacking. Okay. I had to get the order on North Spore to over $300 to get the full deal. So I added this little block of cocoa core, which is the main thing I use for my substrates currently. In the future, it's going to be mainly hardwood and things like the soy hull. And I also have millet pellets, and you'll see that in a minute. So I added this to the order to bump it up over $300. It costs like $8. Don't really know what I'm going to do with it. I just got it so I could get the full deal. So, here we go. Yeah. You know what? I need to put these back in the mycology toolkit as well so I don't lose them. Glad I noticed that. This next thing is simple, but it is extremely important just through the entire process, the name of the game. When it comes to mycology, is cleanliness, sterilization, sanitization. Everything has to be clean, very, very clean. So the next thing is alcohol pads. Simple, but it's your best friend. Seriously, I've made the littlest mistakes and had things get contaminated. That is not something, that's not a lesson you want to learn over and over again. Because it takes a long time. Every step of this is a long period of time. So if you put 2 months of work into cultivating, and then you see it's contaminated, that is devastating. So you got to keep your workstation clean. And right now, currently, my workstation is not as clean as I would like it to be. I will totally admit that. I own it. Right this minute, I just want to make a stream. And so I am. But this will all be way cleaner, way more organized. And as far as the walls go, where you can see the insulation and spray foam and stuff, I'm going to cover the rest of it up with the silver lining like I do there. I'm going to cover everything that you can see that's exposed will be covered, just so you know. Alcohol pads. What's next? Another really important thing for keeping things clean, gloves, nylon gloves. You want these things, you need them. Like, just as important as the alcohol pads. But the alcohol is more important because it kills stuff. Go on. These are the pellets I mentioned a second ago. Organic millet. This is just a substrate additive. It's to just make the mushrooms healthier. Let's see, keep going. I swear this isn't an ad for Carhartt, but this backpack has so much room. It's great. More soy hull. Yeah, soy hulls, pellets. These should be hardwood pellets, but they're not. Like I said, I'm going to contact North Spore whenever my still air box gets here. And if the hardwood pellets aren't there, I'm just going to contact them. I'm sure I'll have no problems. They seem like a pretty cool company so far. Cocoa Core, this stuff. Mushrooms love it. It's easy to manage. It's low nutrition. And I'll tell you why that's important. Because contamination also needs nutrition. So if you have something that's low nutrition and it's competing with your mycelium is probably more than likely than not going to win. So you want your mycelium to be not necessarily fully collinated, but the more collinated it is, the stronger its natural immune system is to overtake contamination. So you want your substrate to be sterilized, if not sterilized, at least sanitized. And there is a difference, and if you don't know the difference, you should go find out. Got more cocoa core. I use a lot of it. That's why I have 2 big bags of it. It's really light too, so that's nice. And I think that's everything I have in the backpack. You see. Band-aids. These were here already. I used to bring this backpack to work with me at Buc-ee's, and if you need a Band-aid, you gotta file an incident report, even if it's just like nothing, just a little nick on your nail, you know what I mean? Cubicle? I don't know. So I would bring my own Band-aids because I was handling cardboard boxes all the time, which would dry my hands out and crack, so I needed a Band-aid. And I didn't want to file an incident report for having dry hands. So, there you go. That's why I done it. I think that's everything I got from North Spore, but I'll keep the live stream going for another couple of minutes. I will take a break. I want to go check on Darcy, make sure she has food and stuff, and then I'm going to come back and do the grain to bulk transfer. But until then, we got a few more things we could probably look at. Let's see. Take my phone off of this. So, as you can see, my camera stand, as we're going to call it, this is a magnetic bar, and my phone has the magnets, I guess. It's for wireless charging, where I can just put it on the Google Doc. But if I can put it up here, should focus. Yeah, it don't matter. I was just showing that off. But it's super glued on here. I just taped it down so it, instead of sitting here and like holding it down for an hour, it's like I'll just put some tape on it. And I just left the tape there because why not, right? But this bar, it does move around and stuff. And like I said, this is a magnet. So I can just stick my phone on it and click this button and see. Pretty cool. Yeah, I like it a lot. I thought it was pretty ingenious, personally. Oh, yep. Okay, good. I didn't drop. But I got this magnetic toolbar just zip tied to the this was a microphone stand. Just so you know. I'm very inventive, I'm very crafty, I'm very, if I have a need, I will figure out a way to take care of it with stuff I already have. I've always been like that. That also goes back to my grandma when we'd be out there in the garden working on stuff and it was like, oh, we need this, but we don't have it. We're not going to go buy it. We're going to figure it out. So I picked up on that from her, and now I'm able to use it in my everyday life. And I really appreciate her giving me those skills, or the ability to use the skills that she's shown me. Would be about the best way I know how to describe it. So let's see if I have anything else back here that I want to show off. And yeah, I like showing stuff off. So yeah, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I want to show people because it's educational. It's like, no, it's mine and I think it's cool and I want to show it off. So let's see what I got. Over here, I showed this off in a short recently. This is a mushroom cake that is insane. I mean that. This thing is insane. The way this is taken off and the way the mycelium is just trying to escape the cake and go off and do its own thing. I've added more substrate to it a couple of times because it was like, okay, the mycelium is obviously still hungry, so let me add some more substrate to give it something to eat, and then it'll overtake the new substrate. So I was like, okay, I'll add some more. All right, and I'm not going to add any more because the only way I would really add any more is if I just filled this thing up with substrate. And I want to see what happens when this thing fruits. So I'm just going to let it go. And you guys, of course, will see it as well. So, stay tuned. Have some more stuff going over here. Here too. I'm worried about this container right here. The mycelium should just be white. So I'm seeing a little bit of discoloration in this tub, which has me nervous because this tub was doing so well. It was just so amazing. So to see potential contamination in there is really disheartening. And like I said, I try to take all the steps to make sure everything is sterile and clean, but I'm only human and I make mistakes. And the mycelium, unfortunately, pays the price for my mistakes. And I have too much empathy for that. So I gotta take better care of this mycelium. This one, a little too humid to see in there. I'm not gonna open it. This one too. Whenever you first set them up, like whenever you want the when you transfer a grain jar to bulk, you want to just put it out of the way on a shelf and leave it closed. I get the tubs with latching lids because you want that to just stay there for a month at least, closed. Mycelium and mushrooms in general, they're like humans. They breathe oxygen and breathe out carbon monoxide. So the mycelium is in there breathing. And once it breathes most of the oxygen, it'll start trying to expand. And what's happening in nature, it's trying to get to the surface of the ground so that it could get more oxygen, because underneath the ground it's suffocating. So the reason you want to put it away, keep it closed, is because once it starts to get low on oxygen, it'll start wanting to find the surface of the ground. So the low oxygen environment makes the mycelium grow faster. It like encourages mycelium growth. Low oxygen environments. And that's a little tip. You can have that one for free. This one probably ain't gonna do much. Like, I got it over here without a lid on it or anything. So I don't really expect much from this one. I'm just letting it hang out. This is another one that's sealed up. Now this one over here, I've been breaking my own rules. It's the same strain as this cake, but I wanted to do a way larger tub. As you can